Hello, Potato. Today is May the 16th, Saturday, and that means two relevant things. One, if my count is correct, this is episode 50 of Quarantine Log. This is the 50th one of these I've done. And, yeah, virtually nobody watches them, but hey, they will always be there. So you're seeing this at some point if you're hearing me say this. And the second thing is, and this is the thing that might actually get, at least at the beginning of this video, some views, is that it's the third Saturday of the month, which means it's Minnie Mouse, the main attraction day, which means I'm going to complain about Shop Disney. Yes. It was another fun morning dealing with the excremental shopdisney.com website. But first, we're going to start with the good things. So, good thing number one. It's not been 3 hours. It didn't take 3 hours, or indeed, like on Star Wars Day, 4 hours to interact with their website. Good thing number two. They've only put 10 holds on my card this time instead of 28. So that's nice. It still comes to about $780, which thankfully this card is used basically just for purchasing things on Shop Disney. So it's not a huge issue, but I mean, if $780 was frozen in my bank account, that would be a problem. And of course, Shop Disney will do nothing about this, and they blame it on your bank. Which, to be fair, it's your bank that's not releasing the holds for a few days. But to be more fair, it's Shop Disney putting them there to begin with, because I don't know what your experience is shopping online. I don't do that much online shopping. Amazon, used to ThinkGeek when they existed, Lego, and none of them, not a one of them, ever puts a hold on my card. They just charge me for the items and then send them to me. They don't put a hold on it and then charge it again later. So, yeah, I still got to put the blame firmly in the Shop Disney camp on this one. But, I'm sorry, I'm talking about good things right now. Good things are that I managed to get logged in. I didn't have to log in 50 times today. I got logged in straight away. I had all the items I wanted in my cart at 7:02, 2 minutes after, and proceeded to spend the next hour trying to check out. So now we're kind of getting into the bad area. Yeah, clicking the little checkout button, checkout, and nothing would happen. Actually, in the app, I got all the way to submit your order. And then the app locked up in the spinning little infinite circle of doom. And then after that, it became the same screech show that it was on Star Wars Day, where you log in and immediately logs you back out. I'm on the website. Yep, I must have tried to check out at least a couple hundred times. But I was completely and thoroughly unsuccessful. Yep, I didn't get anything. Thankfully, my wife did manage to get the pins and the plush. Of course, as Shop Disney wants to do, they sold the ears out of my bag right out from under me. Like I said, I had them in there at 7:02. Had them in my bag for like most of the hour. Check out, nothing. So yeah, not good customer service at Shop Disney again, but I don't expect it. Again, this is probably the most first world problem thing in the world that I'm talking about here, but I really hope the stores are able to be open again by next month. I have no idea how long a socially distanced line outside of the Disney store is going to be. I'm guessing it'll end somewhere back around past Build-A-Bear. If you've been to Galleria Mall, that's not exactly close. Usually it's about by the Quickly store, which is like 3 stores away. But I think distancing ourselves out by 6 feet for each group. Yeah, I'm thinking Build-A-Bear, maybe a little bit farther, especially next month, because next month is the Peter Pan ride and has Tinkerbell on it, and you know that people are going to want that Tinkerbell. We're going to have a lot of people just buying just that one just because it has Tinkerbell on it, and that's going to make it a nightmare unless Shop Disney actually does something to their site to fix the issues, which I'm inclined to think they won't. However, the overall experience today was better than Star Wars Day. Again, it only took a little over an hour and not 4 hours, so that's a vast improvement. I didn't have to log in 50 times. I just logged in like 4 times, so that's a vast improvement. I didn't get anything though, which is not an improvement. My wife did, so it comes out to the same. But yeah, I wasn't able to buy anything. I spent an hour, have $780 for the holds on my card, and didn't walk away with a thing myself. Pull your socks up, Shop Disney. Stop being a street show. You are one of the biggest, you're connected to one of the biggest companies in the world. And yet you can't handle these 2-3 times a month increased interest events. That's how they put it on Twitter. Due to increased interest. All this time they blamed it on their partners for the problem. Not them, their partners. Well, here's an idea. Get competent partners, one. Two, again, you're Disney. Why do you have partners? Just as much credit as is processed through various arms of the Disney company, just process them yourself. My God, people. I can't imagine why Disney is something as large as Disney doesn't have their own credit processing division. You know, you figure the parks and Disney Plus and Shop Disney and Disney stores. I mean, they must process a lot of credit card information every single day. They should just process it themselves. But I guess it's good to have people you can use as scapegoats. All right. I think it's out of my system. So, yeah, once again, we didn't get the ears, but we got the plush and the pins, and I will show you to those. Show you to those? I will show those to you in a future video when they come in. All right. Deep breath. Serenity now. Okay, we all good? All right. So I figured for today, for episode 50, we'd get back to the roots of Quarantine Log and do a Lego kit. Gracious knows I have enough of them sitting around me right now. I am thoroughly shocked how many Lego kits I found when I was going through the closet. And by the way, while the bins are done, the closet's not clean. There's still stuff in there. So, I mean, there will still be more closet stuff in future videos. So if you don't like those, then you won't be watching those videos, right? But yep, today we're going to put together set 40358. It was a Target exclusive called Bean There, Donut That. Came out last year, maybe 2018. It's been sitting there for a while. I got it to put into my, I don't know if either the city set or the carnival set, which I'm thinking the carnival set's just not going to go out this year. The fairs have been canceled. The state fair is offering this thing where you can order like corn dogs and funnel cakes through them and go pick them up at the gate, but they're not going to be by the right people. You know, I don't know who's going to make them, but it's not going to be the same. And then it's going to be the weird stuff. And, you know, I do videos on the weird stuff. You know, I don't do videos on just a normal funnel cake. I do videos on a pizza funnel cake. Because that's a thing. A pizza funnel cake is an interesting thing. A funnel cake with Bavarian cream, which is really just going to be vanilla pudding, and strawberries on it, that's not an interesting thing. It's a tasty thing, but it's not an interesting thing. So yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. Alright, so let's pop this open. I figured this will give us a chance to talk again. We haven't talked in a while. And by we talk, I mean me talk, because of course you really can't talk back. It's kind of a one-sided conversation. You can leave comments. You're welcome to leave comments. You're encouraged to leave comments. But of course I can't respond to them right now, can I? I figured 146 pieces, that shouldn't take that long. Probably like a 20-minute or so build, which, you know, with the 5 minutes of me complaining at the front, puts us at about the length these videos generally run. I really did intend at the start that these videos would be pretty short, and instead they've ended up generally being longer than the normal Void of Intelligence episodes. Which, I guess, I don't know if that's a failure on my part. I mean, my view numbers would seem it's a failure on my part, but the subscriber count's been increasing. I think I'm at like 66 last time I looked. And I think every single one of you, even though most of you probably won't actually see this video. At least not immediately. Let me check again. 67. As of the time of recording this video, there are 67 subscribers. Yay. You like me. You really like me. Alright, so let's put this together. So, of course, been watching a lot of streaming. A lot of the YouTube channels I like, I've gotten caught up on. So, gotta branch into new stuff. Been watching a lot of scam baiting stuff. Started watching this guy called Atomic Shrimp, who is based in the UK. And he has done a bunch of scam baiting email ones, episodes, videos. And does a lot of interesting, well, interesting being a relative term, I suppose, unboxing and kind of cooking videos. It's a very loosely formatted channel. I find it interesting. And maybe this comes down to why I think it might be interesting to watch me unbox stuff out of my closet, is that I don't mind watching unboxing videos. That's why this won't go in. There we go. I enjoy watching unboxing videos. So maybe that's why I think that maybe you would enjoy it too. And you know, there are people who like everything. I mean, there are people who watch pimple popping videos to the point that there's a TV show and a board game based on the concept. Which, you know, yeah, not my thing, but you do you, right? Been watching through a lot of the Dancing Bacon's channel. Talked about him before. Again, I think it's him. And his interesting little food videos. I've been watching through a lot of ones about self-heating noodle bowls. I thought that'd be interesting, but those aren't freely available here. I mean, there are some on Amazon, but they're pretty expensive. Like up to, I think, $50 was the most expensive one. I think like $15 was the cheapest, which isn't that bad. Those self-heating ones seem to actually have a good amount of stuff in them. Like actual meat and veg, and admittedly, most of the ones he's eating are like things that to me seem weird, like tripe and intestines, and which is tripe, I guess, cow's stomach, and it's one of those cultural things where just, you know, it's not, I guess we're just very wasteful here in the US in that most of us don't eat the offal. Because a lot of that on Atomic Shrimp too. He does stuff with like tripe and blutwurst and things that I wouldn't normally consider eating. Although I did see blutwurst in a store this week. And I'll discuss this a little bit more in tomorrow's video, but I had to take the car and get some work done on it, which is the farthest I've been from the house in 2 months. And while I was over in that area, we did pop into our local international mega market. And yeah, they had in the deli area, because it's not just an Asian market. I mean, it's Koreana Plaza, and I think it's owned by a Korean family, but it's really an international market, and they have a lot of, and that's, you know, part of it comes down to the demographics of the area. They have a lot of Eastern European stuff. So you get your, you know, your blutwursts and your other, to the American palate, more unique flavors there. I mentioned before that we have finished watching through Community again. And we watched the new season of Dead to Me, which is quite good. I was feeling for the first few episodes that, I mean, it's still good. I was enjoying it, but it wasn't throwing the curveballs at me that season 1 did. Season 1, basically every episode would end with them throwing a massive curveball at you that complicates things that otherwise might have seemed like they were getting resolved. And then I think episode 6 is where it comes at you with at least to me, seem like a hard curveball. Like just right to the head. And then it just kind of stayed doing that for the rest of the series. So I enjoyed it. I encourage you to watch it. Linda Cardellini's character is, of course, a complete train wreck of a human being in that show. And Christina Applegate, it's interesting that she seems to only kind of play these really severe, impatient characters now. Given now that she became famous by playing a, let's slut shame a little and call it a bimbo. Because, yeah, Kelly Bundy was not a smart person. And was, oversexed, if it's still okay to say something like that. Not a criticism, just an observation. But yeah, it seems like all these roles that she gets in now, what else was she in? She's in one of those like middle-aged sex comedies of like 10 years back. She played the same kind of role, and she was kind of an impatient character in Up All Night, which, was a great show. I actually enjoyed that show, with the exception of what's her name, Maya Rudolph. I didn't enjoy her parts. She's an actress that I enjoy in very limited quantities. Like, I like her on Good Place. She was good in Good Place, because they didn't use a lot of her. She kind of was just like flavoring, not a star. She didn't get her own plot lines. And that's exactly pretty much how I like her in a show. She's talented, but she's like small. Kind of like Titus in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which, by the way, has a new episode out, and it's an interactive one. And we played through that a couple times on Thursday night, the first night we saw that it was up. And it's fun, and I know we still haven't seen everything in it, because the little trailer blurb they show you on the menu screen shows one of the dead ends. So basically, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, and it dead ends. Only, instead of making you start at the beginning, it just takes you back to the last decision point and has you start again from there. But it showed a dead end that we had gotten to, only the ending was different. And I think really it's decisions you make all the way through drastically do change things. I mean, the basic plot remains the same, but the way you get to some places changes, and the ending you characters get changes. The first time we played through, we got the you win ending. There's actually an ending that says you win. And that was nice. We dead-ended a few times in that. And the second time we played through, making some different choices, we got, I guess, one of the bad endings. And that was interesting. To the point that a character comes on screen and tells you no, you go back and you try again. And one thing's funny, and I don't want to spoil things too much here going into this, but there's one place in the game, I'm going to call it a game because, it's interactive fiction of a sort. It's like a visual novel sort of a thing. There's one point in the game where you are given I think it's the only time you're given 4 choices to make. And 3 of them are fairly obviously out of character for the person you're making a decision for. And I encourage you to make all 3 of those out of character choices. Because again, it doesn't make you go back to the beginning when you lose. It just makes you go back and make the decision again. Or if there's only one other decision, it just goes back and makes the right decision for you. But yeah, I chose the 3 obviously wrong choices, one after the other. And there's actually a special ending, if you do that, where a character comes up and points out that you did make all 3 of the obviously wrong choices. Which is a fun little thing to see. There's a lot of... The dead ends are almost funnier to get to than the actual ending of the show. So if you have a device capable of play this on, because I know like our old Fire Stick and our Roku Stick can't play this. We just get the little, that's why I never played Jabberwockies. None of my devices, unless I wanted to play it on the actual computer, none of my devices could play it. So I'm going to go back and play Jabberwocky now that I know we have a device that could actually play it. Yep, the new episode of Kimmy Schmidt is a happy making thing, because I didn't know they were even doing one. It was completely out of nowhere for me. Have I been out of focus this whole time? Let's check. Nope, nope, we're good. Or at least we're good as we get. These donuts on this here, those are Simpsons donuts. I think those are the same donuts that Homer holds in the Simpsons sets. Like, I don't have any of the main Simpsons sets. I have just the ones from Lego Dimensions. I liked the Quickie Mart and the Simpsons house sets, but you can't collect everything, you know? You have to put limits somewhere, and you feel some regret for it, but you have to... Oh, that's pie, isn't it? I thought at first these were pizza slices. It's half of a pie. That's probably obvious to you. But it wasn't to me. Should be one more cookie here. Here we go. It's interesting that the front of this box shows like 4 minifigures, and the inside of the box... Are there all 4 here? I'm only seeing 3 here, because it shows a businesswoman, businessman, construction worker, and the bean there, donut that, barista. And I'm only seeing 3 torsos here. But there's a construction worker's hat. There's 2 women here. Is it the businessman I'm not seeing? Oh, we'll get to that. I know you're supposed to do the figures first, but I generally don't do that. Okay, it should be a jar. And throw some of these in it. And a pink piece. And... And the... No, they won't stay put now. And the lid. Here we go. What else have we been watching? Oh, we watched that new one on Amazon. Upload. It's by the guy who did The American Office, and yay, it spins. And Parks and Rec, which I would not push those references that much, because to me it didn't feel at all like either of those shows. Like there's not a lot of that DNA in there to me. What it made me think of is like Black Mirror crossed with The Good Place. Essentially, it is like the Black Mirror episode San Junipero crossed with The Good Place. It's funny. It's very darkly funny. It's a very dark comedy. But it's enjoyable. I only complaint I really have about as a series is the ending. Yeah, they end in a place that I found thoroughly frustrating and unsatisfying. But do not let that stop you from watching it. I encourage you to watch it. It's a good show. And we need to watch it if we want a season 2, because I want to see where it goes from there. Oh, that's our espresso machine. Which is weirdly facing... Maybe it's not an espresso machine. Well, maybe it's just a coffee vending machine. Or maybe it's sweetener and lightener. Because it's facing the wrong way if it's supposed to be for espresso. Because who pulls their own shots at a coffee place? Unless it's one of those just fancy machines. On Dancing Bacons, they had an episode or a video. I guess episode. He doesn't number them or anything. Where they... Oh, this way. Where he has a machine that like makes espresso, like a robot. It's like one of those robot arms, and it makes espresso drinks. And it even makes an effort at Fomart. I say an effort because what was supposed to be a heart looked more like maybe a peach. But still, I mean, it's a cute thing to watch, and it has little songs it plays during the making process. Yeah, I envy Dancing Bacons and the availability of interesting vending machines to him, because we don't have interesting vending machines around here. You don't get interesting vending machines in the U.S. All of ours are pretty standard, and they're always in secured locations, because they would get destroyed otherwise. Heck, they get destroyed in the secure locations. Also, their 7-Elevens offer a lot more interesting stuff than ours do. But that's just, I suppose that's really just an issue of the grass is greener, right? I would imagine that to someone in Singapore or Japan looking at who's into like Western food would look at videos of going into our 7-Eleven and microwaving a burrito potentially as being interesting. I don't know. What else? What else is there to talk about? Of course, don't want to talk about anything going on in the news because, one, don't want to get political, and two, don't want to be a downer. And that pretty much covers everything in the news right now. So instead we'll talk about more of what I've been watching and doing. I got Animal Crossing for the Switch. I haven't played Animal Crossing since the original DS version. I never got a 3DS, so I never played the 3DS one. And it's cute. The graphics are nice. It does feel like there's more to do than, say, the older Animal Crossing games. I haven't tried going to Nook's Island or anything yet. And I certainly haven't tried visiting anybody on there. Honestly, I'm not even totally sure how that's supposed to even work. Because I know Nintendo tends to be very, like, reluctant to let you make friends on their services. I remember at least back from, like, the Wii and original DS days. And I didn't have a Wii U. I haven't had a 3DS. So I've kind of been out of the Nintendo game for a couple generations here. Or at least a generation. Finally finished Red Dead Redemption 2, and of course by finished I just mean finished the story, and I'll put the spoiler here, the epilogue. I'm not going to go into details about it if you haven't played it. Definitely play it. If you enjoyed Red Dead Redemption, I will point out to you that this is a prequel to that if you didn't know. I didn't know going in. It took me a while to realize, because at first, I think I mentioned this before, I thought the John Marston in it was Jack Marston, just grown up from the previous game. I hadn't realized, it took me a while to realize until they actually introduced the character of Jack, that John Marston is the player character from the previous game. Just go where? Oh, on this side, okay. But yeah, it's some weird choices in there. It seems like some of the challenges are impossible to do like while you're playing the game. You have to get to the end. And there's like the end of the story is only about 2/3 of the way through the game. There's a whole like third of the game that's of epilogue that allows you access to a huge chunk of the map that you aren't able to get to during the main storyline, which is seems to me a weird choice on Rockstar's part. But I suppose they know what they're doing. They sold 1 billion copies, so they must know what they're doing there. I enjoyed it. One thing I guess I shouldn't be upset about it, but I kind of am, is the lack of DLC. Because I know the place where they want to make the extra money is RDR Online, which I have no real interest in playing. So, I'm sure you can buy money for there like you can for GTA Online. And that's why we don't get any story continuation stuff, is because their intention is to purely just push people to that online gaming and hit you with the microtransactions rather than produce extra content. And that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's their game, it's their choice. But I do kind of wish there had been an RDR2 version of Undead Nightmare would have been great. I would love to do another Undead Nightmare experience. Or frankly, that's what they should do, is just remake RDR in the RDR2 engine. I would pay for that. I think a lot of people would. Because overall, I think I like RDR1 better as a story. But the gameplay in RDR2 is sharper. I didn't find myself being ambushed by cougars quite so often. Not that it didn't happen, just not every 5 seconds. Okay, where's... How does that... Okay, that goes just like that. And then I started playing... what was I playing next? Oh, Vampire. With a Y. Vampire. Which is, to be honest, an ugly game. It's not a visually attractive game. It looks like a 360 game, but the combat is clunky enough to be off-putting. But I like the story. I like the game. I like what it's trying to do. I dislike that if you don't want to... So, the storyline in Vampire, which came out actually like 2 Christmases ago, 2018, I think, is that you are Dr. Jonathan Reed. Although I think that may actually just be an assumed name after the fact. But anyways, you are a doctor who served in World War I. This is set in like 1919 or something like that. You served as a doctor in the World War I in the trenches. That's not the right head for that, is it? Yeah, there are 4 here. And you have come back to London only to be attacked by a vampire and turned, and then recruited to work, and this is during the Spanish influenza. So you've been recruited to work in a hospital, and you're given a choice. You gain experience by, of course, combat and completing missions and such. But you can also gain experience by feeding off of people. And you can gain a lot of experience by feeding off people, but there will be other bad things that happen if you do. However, if you don't, it makes some of the combat insanely difficult. I am stuck at a point where I have to battle... It's a boss battle, which, can we get over boss battles in games? I mean, we're not playing Nintendo anymore. It's the 21st century. Can we do something about this? But you get massively penalized because you can't level up if you don't kill people. But of course, you do kill people, it causes issues in the story, and I guess there's some sort of achievement if you don't kill them all. The banana just goes by itself according to the instructions. Alright, so those are all... Nope, that goes with him. It looks kind of like Ashen's. It's like an Ashen's minifigure. Can I focus on him? Will it let me? It's an Ashen's figure. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. He's even got a red tie. Although I think he wears generally a black jacket. But yeah, the combat is... I've taken a break from it. I've been playing some stuff on the computer instead. I've played through Hypnospace Outlaw, which is very, very reminiscent of the 90s, which is, takes place in 1999 in like a VR version of 99. So you have these like really low-res web pages with like MySpace quality, not MySpace, like GeoCities quality pages on them, but it's in VR. And it's not a super long game. You can play through the story in a few hours if you know what to do. But there's so much there to explore. If you want to be a completionist, it's going to take you a while. Because there's a lot of stuff to look at on there. There's all these different Hypnospace pages. And I played a little bit of Beat Cop, which I'm not really super into these pixelated or retro style games. But Beat Cop's got some interesting gameplay. It can get a little frustrating because it throws a lot at you. And I've been playing, the one I'm playing most recently is Jurassic World Evolution, which of course is like the Jurassic Park building sim. And that's, aside from some real frustrating moments trying to do the second island, at the beginning at least, that's quite a fun game. I enjoy that. I may buy the add-ons for that one because that's quite enjoyable so far. Let's see, if Island 3 throws some horrible stuff at me, I don't know. But Island 1 was fun. Island 2, once I got past that initial challenge of getting a positive cash flow, Island 2 has been fun too. It's still more challenging, but not to the point of like, okay, what do I do about it? Alright, that's to be enough of me talking though. we've got our bean there, done, donut that built. Just a little set, 146 pieces. Got a little turntable with cookies and stuff. Of course, you couldn't do that now. The cashier would have to hand all that to you. Same with the self-serve coffee. We've got our little barista minifigure. I wonder if she matches, I have to check, I wonder if she matches the outfit of the barista figure from Lego Movie 2. Or Lego Movie 1, actually. We've got our little businessman that looks remarkably like YouTuber Ashens. Again, if you haven't watched him, go watch him. He's got hundreds of videos, and it'll kill a few days for you. And we have our little first responder, so she should get to go to the front of the line. And we have Banana. Hello, Banana. So I wonder who the bike belongs to. They don't have anybody on it in the box. And frankly, none of these people seem like they should be wearing... This is basically just Emmett's outfit from Lego Movie, isn't it? But he looks too old to be riding a bike. I know that's ageist, but he doesn't look like he'd be riding a bike. Oh, I guess the banana goes in the trash according to the box. Well, we won't do that. We'll treat Banana with more respect. No potato, though. That's unfortunate. Bip, that's done, which means I'm done talking now. If you have any input to reply to what I've said here, by all means do so in the comments and I will maybe respond. If you have YouTube channels that you suggest I watch other than your own, obviously I should check your own out if you're subscribing to me, right? But if you have channels that you think I'd be interested in based on the things I've talked about on here that I'm interested in, let me know what they are, because, you know, I am kind of looking for some new stuff. And... yep, that's going to finish off episode 50 of Quarantine Log. It's going to finish off this week. Tomorrow is going to be a normal Void of Intelligence episode. And it does not finish off Quarantine Log itself. I was all prepared for this to be the finale. And it's not, as far as I know. So, we'll see you back after Quarantine Log on Monday. So please remember to wash your hands properly, wear your mask out in public, practice your safe social distancing, and stay healthy. And I'll see you in the next episode.